It's over. It's finally over. This is by far the worst season I have witnessed in a very long time.
Ew! Dude! What the fuck?
I am still super sore about that FA Cup last Saturday. It seems we can't do anything right. We went trophyless. It's really not like us. Never thought I would ever say this, but this isn't even the worst part. I'll cover that coming up. So if you want to see me suffer more, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts on Manchester City season thus far. Well, I mean, since the time I'm recording this video, it's already completed, so comment on the season overall. I'll tell you this much though, if we can get to 200 subs by September, I'll do a jersey giveaway of your choice. Alright, well, let's get into it. To catch you up to speed, I talked about Man City's underwhelming start in these two videos here. So around mid-November, we were not winning very winnable games, losing to Bournemouth, who to be fair are decent this season. Brighton, on the other hand, we should really be beating, and Tottenham 4-0 at home, and realized there was absolutely no chance at the title now. Now let's look at the Champions League, where we got railed by Victor Gyökeres and co, as well as bottling a 3-0 lead to Feyenoord before drawing 3-3. Look, I don't know what you guys think of this one, but I also think we should beat a Juventus team that wasn't all that good back then. I just like to thank the Lord that we didn't lose to any of the other smaller teams in the UCL. Otherwise, I don't know what I'd do. Imagine we choked against Slovan Bratislava from Slovakia like it was that Feyenoord match. I like to not talk about that Real Madrid in the round of 32. There are a lot of teams that are better than us this season, and if you had to pick a starting 11 between us and Los Blancos, I think people would pick the latter. So, no UCL, and we were pretty much out of the league title race. Nice. Also, I'd like to talk about the Carabao Cup, but we played pretty bad against Spurs and got knocked out early. I mean, we let Timo Werner score against us. How much more worse can it get? But do not fret, we still have one last hope, the FA Cup. We've had a pretty easy route up until the quarterfinals, where I won't lie, Plymouth Argyle gave me a little heart attack. I mean, they did beat Liverpool, who went on to lift the Premier League. We'd get a quick 2-0 win against Forest, who, let's be honest, despite their overachieving this season, their hopes of even making the UCL spots were fading like sand through my fingers.
This does not slip now! This does not slip!
And now, the big time. A chance to come out with something, even when we were completely down. The final against Crystal Palace, who have never won a trophy, like ever, if finishing 12th place every season didn't count. Yeah, we lost that match. I have never felt so much emptiness realizing we as a Big Six team came out with nothing, and we were below the level of everybody else, because they at least have the chance to win something, except Arsenal and Man United. But I'd happily swap places with Arsenal, who are second, which brings me to my next point. During the final, Erling Haaland is through on goal, so the Palace keeper, Dean Henderson, rushes out to close the gap. Simple stuff, right? Basic goalkeeping. Well, apparently not, because he touched it with his hand when the ball was outside of his box. Red card offense, clear as day. In the laws of the game, verbatim, a goalkeeper is not allowed to touch the ball with their hands/arms outside their penalty area. And what happens if a goalkeeper commits a handball offense outside their penalty area? A direct free kick is awarded and a yellow card is shown if a promising attack was stopped, or a red card is shown if a goal or an obvious goal scoring opportunity was denied. I'll let you guess which one that he should get, bro, because I mean, he was clearly through on goal. If he didn't touch that ball, we would have equalized. So the ref and VAR have had a stinker here and need to apologize, just like the nonsense red card against Miles Lewis Skelly when Arsenal played Wolves. They either hate us or we're out at 2 in the morning getting hammered in some nightclub, or maybe both. I will not take any other answer. Besides that howler, we still did not play well. Omar Marmoush missed the pen, which would have given us a lifeline, and Nico O'Reilly can't use his weak foot, which is a damn shame as he was a big part in our FA Cup run. We were constantly getting outclassed on the flanks defensively, forcing a lot of back passes. The only ones I can see that want this trophy were Jeremy Doku and Kevin De Bruyne. Speaking of which, my glorious Ginger King Kev did not deserve this ending on the last chance at getting some silverware. I'll forever remember him in my heart for what he's done, and so will many other City fans. If there was one good thing to come out of this, it's Claudio Echeverri, who we saw make his debut. He looked solid during his shift, It's just a shame he couldn't finish that shot. He's always proactive, getting into good positions and asking for the ball. We cannot let him go, and he needs to be playing more. Also, here are some more lowlights from our season. When things can't get any worse, we draw 0-0 to already relegated Southampton. Or how about not being able to beat Man United at home? And we can't forget about this 5-1 Arsenal pounding. Like, come on. We are so blessed to still have made the Champions League spots. But I also think if we won that game, we could have had second place in a so-called bad season. I mean, it is a bad season, but like, even in our lowest, like, we're still good. That's what I mean. And the reason I like that we made the Champions League, it's good for the club and it's good for me because I like watching these matches on Wednesday. It's one of the few days I don't have practice. So please, Man City, show that we are still to be taken seriously. I mean, if I was on the touchline, I'd be looking like this too after every single match. I've heard plenty of criticism of our squad, like Jack Grealish is always on the bench, which I don't think is what we've paid £100 million for. Phil Foden went from player of the season to the weak link of the team. And while it's good to have Ilkay Gundogan back, his clutch factors and leadership have not kicked in, or not yet anyways, and probably won't anytime soon, let's be honest. Also, Rico Lewis isn't ready to be first choice right back. I agree with a lot of these, and at least Pep Guardiola, if he stays for another season, has the whole summer to use his best players and tactics that will use everyone for the assets that they possess. Oh wait, we need to attend the FIFA money laundering scheme known as the Club World Cup. I hope we can at least win this one and KDB can still play since we still need him before we go. Now, let's hope we don't encounter any European teams there because we might be screwed. Can we not play with big things on the line anymore? How do we expect to beat Juventus in the group stage if we can't beat United both times we played them in the league? Finally, this absolute stain of a season will see changes in players. You may have heard that Bayer Leverkusen's golden boy, Florian Wirtz, is heavily linked with a move to the blue side of Manchester. I mean, it's getting less likely by the day, but we can only hope he changes his mind. Oh wait, we pulled out of the discussion for him. Why? I don't necessarily know. Why not him? I mean, I did hear that he did not want to come here originally, but he was warming up to the idea. I think, at least. Look, I don't mind Morgan Gibbs-White or Tierney Reinders as they've had great seasons as well and are both good replacements for Kevin De Bruyne. Also, the end of the season means that our Ballon d'Or winner Rodri can finally return. He's the reason we've been so dominant, and when he plays again, we'll be right back to the top of the totem pole. Also, Nathan Ake, I'd take him over Manuel Akanji. Hopefully, we can see these two back at the Club World Cup. We also need a right back since Kyle Walker is probably enjoying himself in sunny Milan and will not come back. And Jeremy Frimpong, who we've had our eyes on, is going to Liverpool. Let me know who can take that spot. At the end of the day, I can only be grateful for past seasons as all good things do come to an end. I just hope that even at our lowest moments, we come out with something to prove that we can't be walked over. Like one singular trophy, that would have been good enough for me. Talking about a so-called bad season, which we didn't. This is how fans of Man United, Arsenal, and Spurs must have felt for years. At least we've not come to that state yet, and hopefully it stays that way. 25-26, we're winning the quintuple. Like 2020 Bayern Munich, trust the team, trust Pep. And yeah, that is gonna do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know, is there anything that I may have missed that I also need to point out? Follow my TikTok, link will be in the description, and you know the rules. Like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Remember, 200 subs by September, and we're doing that jersey giveaway. No cap. So yeah, have a good day and peace.